welcome to episode number 51 of Girlstreamers. Girlstreamers is a podcast bringing you the Girlstreamers that you know and love. Girlstreamers is a community that supports and promotes girls that stream. We are a bi-weekly podcast and we'll be bringing you some amazing girl gamers and allow you, the viewer, to get to know some of your favorite streamers. My name is Nymphadora, and I will be your host during this interview, and tonight we will be interviewing Merya. This is normally a live podcast, but today we have a pre-recorded podcast because Merya's time zone does not line up with mine, so we decided to pre-record it and post it during the normal podcast time. So unfortunately, there will be no Q&A at the end of this interview with the Twitch audience at the end, but as always, we will be available for download on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and YouTube. What's up, Merya? How's your week been?
Hey, Nymph. My week has been pretty great. I got my hair done.
I see. I love it. It's so pretty. I love the pink.
And my hairdresser said that I should go under ultraviolet light, so then it's like glows under.
That's so cool. That is so cool. You're gonna have to get a picture with like a black light on your head so we can see it. That's so awesome.
We should have black light somewhere in this apartment, but we don't know where it is. So.
Oh man, I've got some somewhere for a Halloween party. So this is a special podcast because this is pre-recorded, as stated in the opening, but thank you so much for being here. And it is early for me, but it is a decent time for you, so it works out. I've got
it's like 4 p.m. for me now, so.
Nice. Yeah, it's 9 here, so it's not too bad. I've got my English breakfast tea, although my husband drank all the cream, so it has no cream in it, so it's a little bitter, but it's waking me up, so there you go.
Yeah.
So how did you come up with your screen name?
It's kind of boring story actually. Because I have had very many screen names before, but all of them were like very Finnish type and not international type. So when I decided that I want to become like international and interact with more people, I decided to get a new screen name. And I was thinking about, what do I should pick? And well, I just in the end changed one letter from my real name to this. So,
okay.
Yeah. So if you changed Y to J, you get my real name. So Merya is my real name. So
I like it. So you have the lovely accent. Where are you from?
I'm from Finland.
I love it.
This exotic Nordic land no one's ever heard of.
My husband's heritage is Swedish, so he's got that very Aryan look, you know, the blue eyes, the blonde hair. Yeah. He's also built like a Viking. You can tell what his heritage is just by looking at him, and he really wants to go visit Sweden. He wants to visit Norway, Finland. He wants to visit all of those Viking-esque countries because he loves the Viking lore. So it's on our list to come visit.
You should come visit during, well, depends on if you want snow, then during winter time, of course. But I'd prefer you'd come during summer. So then you get rid of your summer or the hotness and that, and with good luck here's only about 15 Celsius. So
ooh, that sounds ideal. It is currently, actually, let's see, I can tell you what it is, right? Oh, I need to actually turn my phone off or turn it onto. I get a lot of text messages in the morning, so I had to make sure that it's not going to go off. So the current temperature at 9 o'clock in the morning is 72 degrees Fahrenheit, which is, I don't know what Celsius. What is that Celsius?
I know how to convert it, but I don't remember.
It's 22.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's hot.
It's too hot for me too. I prefer like plus 15, plus 20 Celsius and bit of sun and bit of, well, I live in the city next to sea, so we get the sea breeze every day.
Oh, very nice. Lovely. Yeah. So I'll be visiting in a month, so be prepared. I'm just kidding. I did find my passport the other day, though, so that's nice.
That's always good to have.
I know. I lost it. I was like, this sucks, because I have no idea where my passport is. Thank God I found it. It was in, I had like a little paper thing on my desk that I just never went through. And so when we were cleaning the office up Monday, when we were actually supposed to record this podcast, I found it. So there you go. So what is the first game that you ever played that got you into the gaming world?
I've been gaming since I was a little kid. We got the Commodore 64.
Nice.
So I've been playing it like late 80s, early 90s. So not sure if I should count that, or should I count the time when we got a proper computer? I mean proper with, did we have 512 megabytes of hard disk space?
Oh my God.
Late 90s.
Yes.
And then, yeah,
and it was like, if it was a laptop, it was like that thick, like a freaking book.
Yeah, so then we had some small games what I played, and later on I got PlayStation, and so I don't know, but maybe
I would consider the Commodore 64 yeah, that's totally, that's where my husband started. He started on the Commodore 64. So do you consider yourself a console gamer or a computer gamer, or are you kind of a mix of both?
I'm a mix of both. We do have PlayStation 3, but we, of course, there's no new games for it anymore, and
Right.
I would love to have PS4, but then again, it's still a bit new, so it's expensive, and other games are expensive for it. No Steam sales or anything.
I know.
And my hubby has said that why buy PlayStation 4, because soon there will be PlayStation 5, so...
That is not correct. And so last week on the Cosmic Bulletin, we actually talked about Sony's E3 teases and what they've got going on, and the head of PlayStation actually said that yes, PlayStation 4 is in the end of its life cycle, but he said there will be no new hardware announcement this week and during E3, and he said don't look for a PlayStation 5 until about 2021. So PlayStation 4 still has some life on it, right? And we also have, so we've got about 3 years-ish before they come out with the new PlayStation console. But I'm totally with him on the whole don't buy a new console if you've got one that already works, right? Like, I still have a PlayStation 3 as well. But look for prices to start going down now that it's towards the end of its life cycle.
Indeed. And there's also those lovely bundle packs that come with game and...
Oh yeah, that's how I bought my PlayStation 3. I got, what was it? Call of Duty Black Ops. It was a Black Ops bundle when I got mine. So how long have you actually been streaming?
My 6-month anniversary will be next week, June 5th.
Nice. So what got you into it?
I've been looking at Let's Play videos a long time, and I also done some of myself to YouTube. But then I started to follow some streamers and got to know some streamers, and they then started to like, hey, you should stream too, and then I was like, maybe, and finally then I like, okay, I'll try, I give it a try, and here I am, 6 months later, still
Nice.
streaming.
Do you like it? Do you enjoy it?
Yeah, I do have enjoyed it, and it has made me play more games and more different games, and
Same. When I've discovered a lot more indie games since streaming because of
yeah,
watching other streamers like, "Oh, that game looks a lot of fun. Let me go buy that game." I love it. Like, I love that aspect about Twitch and streaming in general because you do get that access to other games you wouldn't otherwise get access to.
yeah.
So,
My Steam my game backlog is just too long that I haven't had time to play all the games I have found, and maybe someday.
you got plenty of time. Plenty of time. So, what's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you on stream?
I haven't had so many embarrassed, but maybe the fact that I cry way too easily, like when I play some story-based games,
Oh,
and if
God,
there's
yes.
something sad happening, I'm like, oh, Niagara Falls happening.
I am such a sap. I do the same thing. I'm like, they didn't just die on me. No.
Yeah.
What do you have a most memorable moment that has happened to you while streaming?
Yeah, actually, it's also included crying, but it was a raid made by a friend who's been streaming since last summer or something, and he has said that he wants to raid me someday, but because he lives also in States, so our time schedules are so different. But in was it March when the Surviving Mars came,
Oh yeah.
and I was streaming it casually, doing like all the building there, and then suddenly I have this Doctor Who TARDIS raid alert sound, and
I love
I
it
heard
so much. I love it
Yeah.
so much.
I heard it like go off, and I was like, okay, who's raiding me? And then, oh my god, he's raiding me! Oh no! And I started to cry. And,
Oh, I love it. That's so awesome. I love your raid. By the way, your raid sound, because I have been in there when you've been raided, and it's so cool. I love the TARDIS sound. I'm a big Doctor Who fan. Who's your doctor?
10th or 11th, not sure. Maybe 10, not.
So,
I think.
okay. That's most people's doctor. I like Tennant, but I really liked Smith as well. I thought Smith was a really good doctor.
Yeah, he was really good. So that's why it's because, well, I liked Ninth Doctor,
Me too.
but he wasn't for me. Then came David Tennant, who he had been in Harry Potter then already, right? Or was it?
I think he was in Harry Potter while he was on Doctor Who.
Yeah, well, I've seen like Harry Potter before I started to watch Doctor Who.
Okay.
So for me, I knew Tennant from Harry Potter. So I was like, oh, Harry Potter!
I did the same thing! I was like, wait! It's like, that's Barty Crouch Jr.!
Yeah. And also
completely
all those...
different. Completely different from the two different characters. It's awesome. He's a great actor.
Yeah, he's very great. And of course, all those Harry Potter quotes he gave there in some of the episodes and all the Lion King references and all. So I was like, okay, he's my doctor.
I think my favorite. Who's your favorite companion? Do you have one?
Donna.
I like Donna too. Not a lot of people like Donna. I'm so glad you didn't say Rose.
No, I don't like Rose. She was good, but she was too. I love you, Doctor.
Yes. Clara was the same way for me. I could not, there's just something, I liked the storylines of Rose. I thought the storylines for Rose were really good with Rose as a companion. And I like Billy, what is it, Pepper? I think it's Billy Piper is her last name. I like her, but the character, I feel, was just too in love with the doctor. I liked the pawns were my favorite. Amy and Rory were my favorite. I really loved that particular storyline too.
It was very nice too.
But they're my favorite because she loved the doctor, but not the same way as Rose. So it was, I also love that she had a loving and healthy relationship, which is rare to see. Most of the time, relationships are not healthy on TV. So, but anyway, sorry, we're going off on a Doctor Who. Doctor Who, man, I love Doctor Who. So, what type of games do you tend to play and stream?
I play variety games, so my streams are also variety. But lately I've been playing a lot of games with stories, like Skyrim I've played a lot. Life is Strange I finished on Monday, I believe.
Ooh, did you? How did you like it?
I cried a lot.
I cried in that one too, don't feel bad.
Yeah.
It's a good game!
Yeah, I should play the Before the Storm as well, but...
Yeah.
Also I play City Skylines, Surviving Mars, and like a simulation city building games.
Yeah, you and I kind of got the Skyrim thing going lately. We've been going back and forth watching each other play Skyrim.
I should know, I got my own gaming PC now. So I should install Skyrim again and maybe start a new character in it. And
yeah, you should. I've been having way too much fun, and I'm taking forever to play through Skyrim right now, but I don't care. I've got the official DLC. I don't have modded out Skyrim like some people do. I just have the Hearthfire DLC. So I can build the houses and all that stuff and have a child. So I've been, working on building the house and everything. I don't give a crap if I don't finish the storyline. I'm doing every other side quest right now just because it's stupid. I'm having way too much fun in Skyrim right now.
Yeah, well, Skyrim is meant to be side tracking and all that. You're not supposed to do the main quest line right away, and you need to explore and enjoy all the Skyrim has offer. And
it's actually it is a massive game for what it is. It is, and it still holds up. It's still a gorgeous looking game for it to be. God, when did Skyrim come out?
2011.
Yeah, so it's almost
7.
Yeah, it's wow, it's a gorgeous game for it to be close to 10 years old.
Yeah.
Speaking of Bethesda, did you see the update on the Fallout 76 and what it's supposed to be?
Yeah, I saw, and I'm kind of mixed feelings about it because I wanted to a basic Fallout game.
Yeah.
But in the end, when it's online multiplayer, whatever it is, and
I'm intrigued. I mean, Bethesda's good with the RPG stuff. I mean, that's what they're known for.
Yeah.
And I know that they've been trying to do a co-op Fallout for years. I'm just glad it's not a battle royale like a lot of people thought it was going to be. When I heard that rumor, I just said, no, that's going to be the end of Bethesda if they jump on that bandwagon and make Fallout a battle royale, because it's not the right thing to make a battle royale game. Like, it's just not. So I'm with you. I have mixed feelings. I'm not sure how it's gonna be. Granted, I haven't played through all the Fallout games, so, but I know a lot of the story and a lot of the lore, and I watch people play Fallout.
Yeah.
I just never played it. I don't know why, but every time I watch somebody playing Fallout, it's like, oh, that looks like a good game. I need to go buy it and play it. But I just never do for some reason. I don't know. They're still expensive games.
Yeah, I played Fallout 4, and it's still unfinished for me. Like, Fallout 4 is same with Skyrim, that you need to explore and wander around and don't do the main quest like straight away. And
So I love games like that. I get so lost in games like that. So what is your favorite game? This is this could be a two-part question. What is your favorite game now? And what is your favorite game of all times?
Now, Skyrim or Fallout.
Okay.
And all-time favorite, I must say Final Fantasy X. It's the first Final Fantasy I ever played, so it has a special place in my heart. So.
Oh, so you're a Final Fantasy fan. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. I've seen a lot of people playing 14 lately, which is the online multiplayer one, right?
Yeah, I don't have it, and I don't like... In that game, I don't like the multiplayer thing, and
Okay.
I prefer the normal single player.
Nice. I think I have one other friend who is a big fan of 10, but most people say 7 when they're talking about Final Fantasy. But have you played any other Final Fantasy games aside from 10?
I played 9, and 12, and 13.
So you haven't played the most recent one then?
No.
Ooh, I've seen it played. It is actually really, really pretty. I that's another game that I need to put on my list and pick up eventually.
Yeah. Well, for me, all the Final Fantasies I played with PlayStation. So for me, it's a console game. So I don't, because it's not for PlayStation 3, I believe. So that's why I haven't gotten it. And
that is how I feel about the new Red Dead Redemption 2 game that's coming out. Like, Red Dead Redemption to me is a console game. Most Rockstar, anything by Rockstar for me is a console game. I like the way their controls work. And I know those games are available on the computer, but I don't necessarily want them on the computer just because I know how to play them on the console, and I prefer to play them on the console. So when Red Dead Redemption 2 comes out, that's probably when I'll buy a PlayStation 4, because I have to say Red Dead Redemption is definitely in my top 2 favorite games personally, and I really, really want Red Dead Redemption 2. So I may be buying a PlayStation 4 just for that game.
well, it's a good reason.
So, would you say you have a main game that you're playing right now, or are you just kind of all over the place?
I'm kind of all over the place. Like, well, I had Skyrim, but because of the PC changes from another computer to this current one, I had to leave it, and I don't know if I'm able to continue the same storyline on my new computer. So there's like all the modding stuff, and I do have it on Steam Cloud, but all the mods need to be installed in correct order, and
yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, what mods do you use for Skyrim?
I have only like maybe 20 mods, but all are like enhancing the graphics and all. But I also have like Skyrim user interface that makes the usability bit better.
Okay.
And, then there's Lockpicking Pro that makes lockpicking like easier. Like like I can only have one lockpick whole game, and I can manage to lockpick everything.
Yeah, I just got the quest where you have to go get the master key. I'm not gonna go turn in the master key. I'm gonna keep it the rest of the game. Like, I'm not gonna finish that quest so that I don't have to break any more lockpicks.
Yeah, in the thief quest line.
Yeah. Nice.
But I can, from the beginning of the game, I can just use a one lockpick, and
nice.
All the rest of the lockpicks I can just, I don't need you.
I used to not get into modding games, and then I play Minecraft, and one of my followers said, I'm just gonna give you some mods to use that will help improve your gameplay, right? One was a map mod, and I was, oh my god, it helped so much. And then he kept giving me just life improvement mods, and then I was like, hey, are there any mods for this and this? He's like, oh yeah, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. And now I probably have about 20-25 mods for Minecraft, and yeah, it really does make the game, like, I'm one of those who I appreciate the game for what it is at vanilla mode, but I see why mods, first of all, I see why they make mods for games like Skyrim, Minecraft, stuff like that, because once you've played through everything in the base game, it's like, all right, what am I going to do? In Minecraft, especially because it essentially never ends, it just enhances the gameplay and makes it more customizable, essentially. So I'm starting to come around to the more mods. I'm starting to come around to it. So what is it that attracts you about games like Final Fantasy, Skyrim, Cities, stuff like that?
The fantasy world. I've been a lover of fantasy theme like ever since I was a kid, so everything that has some kind of fantasy theme, I'm in.
So are you just a high fantasy fan, or are you kind of like, no, I like sci-fi fantasy, you like all, just anything that is in a fantastical realm, you just enjoy it?
Anything that's in fantastical realm, and I'm fine.
Nice. I took forever to actually embrace my nerdiness. By the way, I love that cup. For those of you who can't see what I see, it looks like a little kitty with little ears. It's so cute. I love it. Yeah, I denied my inner nerd for a very, very long time. And it wasn't until college when I finally accepted, I'm a nerd. I'm gonna accept this about myself, and that's okay. Because, when I was in school, like, it wasn't cool to read those kind of books, even though I secretly did. Like, because everybody wants to be cool in high school, right?
Well, I was always the different kind of girl, so I was always the geek.
I was the one who kind of floated and got along with everybody in high school. I had my core group of friends, but I kind of floated. I kind of got along with everybody, kind of hung out with everybody. But I didn't really have, like, a thing. I was in band. That was about it. Like, I didn't have a thing that was me aside from the film stuff. And that's kind of what I focused on. Because I did wedding videos in high school and throughout college. Got out of the wedding business after college because no, thank you. Weddings are god awful, and I hate doing weddings. They are terrible. They are absolutely terrible. Yeah. I have war stories. Anyway, so coming back to the podcast.
Yeah.
The 1,000-yard stare, you know, like the veterans get. I remember so many things, just so many weddings. Why are brides so terrible? I don't get it. Anyway, so what games are you excited about that are coming out soon? Or specifically for E3, since it's coming around the corner, is there anything that you're excited to see from anyone at E3?
I had even thought about E3 a lot.
Well, now you gotta think about it.
Yeah. So, but I'm sure that there's something I want to see. But for like games that are coming up, most excited I'm about Shadow of Tomb Raider coming up in
the new
September.
I haven't played Tomb Raider since the PlayStation 2 with the pointy triangle boobs. I love the Tomb Raider games though. They're such good games.
They are. I played almost all of them since the first one was for PC even. Like...
Nice. Nice. Is the most recent one, I know it's available on PC. Was it PS4 or was it PS3? I feel like it came out before PS4, but I can't remember now.
The Rise
of the Tomb Raider? Yeah.
It came out 2016, so
yeah, it was for the PS4 then.
Yeah.
Because the PS4 came out in 2013. So, yeah, that's right. I forgot that was coming out this year. Ooh. Yeah. God, you're giving me so many games I need to catch up on. Jesus. So, is there a game that you would love to see a rebooting or a remastering of?
Silent Hill.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, because there have been a lot of Silent Hills out there. Are you talking about, like, the first one?
Yeah, first two ones. I played the first 4 games, so I'd like to have the first 2 ones for PC, for example, remastered or rebooted all over. And
I never played the games, but I did see the movie, and the movie I still think about occasionally because it was pretty gnarly. The movie was pretty gnarly, and it had Jon Snow in it.
Yeah, the second Silent Hill movie had Jon Snow.
Yeah, so they were, I was not expecting it to be what it was. I had no idea what I was going into. I'm like, oh, that little girl's on fire? Okay, those nurses don't have face. Okay, what is happening here?
Yeah, and best thing is that I can't play horror games alone. So I have to be someone like next to me playing in them. Like when I played them on console, PlayStation, I actually had to. Well, my console controllers, they learned to fly. Like, something scary happened, and the control went like, whoops.
That sounds like my headphones. I was playing Layers of Fear, and that shit happened. I was on stream, too. Kate Nightmare or Carice, one of them, were watching, and they clipped it. I noped the fuck out. Because some shit popped up, and I was like, nope, and I just threw my headphones off, and I left the room. I am terrible with horror games. I am such a wimp when it comes to horror games. Such a wimp.
The best thing was that when I played them, I had 2 cats. And the cats love to, like, hide all the places and suddenly attack somewhere, and I'm like, oh... no. Like, was that a cat, or was it from a game?
Oh god, cats! Damn you, cats!
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! So, wow, that's funny that you said a horror game. Interesting.
Yeah.
My husband likes watching me play horror games because he's a horror fan, but he likes watching me because he likes laughing at me. Because I am so terrible at them, and I scare myself all the time. Because you're always, like, you're always waiting, you're like, is something gonna happen? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? And your heart's, like, constantly beating fast, and nothing's gonna jump out at you, but a butterfly shows up, and it scares the shit out of you, right? Like,
yeah.
That's what happens to me.
Yeah, I played Subnautica when it was released. It had, it's not horror game. It's not categorized as horror game, but all the music in it and all the ambience and all that made me like, when there's like, this little small, submarine, you can like, and travel, and then somewhere comes like a small fish bumps into the, visor in it, and like, ah! What's that? And then my hubby played it, and he was like, nothing bad. Like, oh, really?
I have to say that music, like that, like the music is really what gets you into it. That's what makes it so scary. It's like, if there was no music, okay, that jump scare would not scare me. But because it's like the Jaws. It's like watching Jaws, like, for the first time. You just hear that music, da-da, 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 but you don't see the shark anywhere, but you know it's coming. You're waiting for it to jump out at you. Like, it's the music. The music is what will make or break it, and,
Yep.
So, is there a game that you would play, that you would like to play again, as if it were the first time?
I think here's the answer is also Skyrim, because I've started it like 3 times. So every time I start again, I know that, okay, next happens that, and then that, and okay, when was that going to happen? And so I'm like waiting, like different quests to appear, and so I would like to experience it for the first time again.
You know, that is one of the only games I bought for both PC and console. One of the only games, because I have it for the PlayStation 3 as well, and I actually played it on the PlayStation 3 first. And then played it on the PC. And I do think the controls are a little bit easier on the PC than they are on the console. But, yeah, I'd have to agree with you on that one. I think Skyrim would be a good one to play again for the first time. Just because there's so much in it. It's so, like... And the story in it, it's not the greatest, but it's still a cool little story to uncover and discover. And a lot of the side stories are actually very intriguing. I think some of the side stories are more interesting than the main story. Like the Dark Brotherhood story, I think that's actually kind of a cool story, and I'm going through that right now. Like, I've never fully completed the Dark Brotherhood story. And, so right now, that Jester guy that you run into at one point. I finally saw him, and I was like, oh, his mother. Okay. So
Yeah,
that
Cicero.
was like, what? What is this? So that was kind of cool. That was a little thing that I was like, all right, that's something I haven't experienced yet. So that was kind of cool. So I'm trying to figure. So I want to see what happens with that. I have no idea what happens with that. So yeah, that was interesting.
I'm a bit further along in the Dark Brotherhood quest line, but I have never done it in the end either. So
Yeah, I'm very intrigued with that storyline. Was not expecting that. Like, when you help him out at the beginning, you're like, oh, he's just some nuthead he's just some basic nutter who's probably taking his mom to a grave. And then you get to the Dark Brotherhood and you're like, oh, no, he's not just a basic crazy guy. He's, like, really messed up.
yeah.
So what is the oldest game in your backlog that you have not beaten yet?
Well, as I've said that I played Final Fantasy 12 and 13, but I actually haven't finished the Final Fantasy 12 or 13, so maybe Final Fantasy 12 is the oldest I haven't finished.
When did that one come out?
2000 and something. I don't remember.
Early 2000s.
Yeah.
That works. You know what? I think the oldest game, well, technically it's not in my backlog right now because I don't have an NES, but I have never beaten Super Mario Brothers on the Super Nintendo, or on the Nintendo, on the NES. I have never beaten Super Mario Brothers ever. I've never
even played it, so.
Well, there you go. So this is the part where we're gonna get a little bit serious.
Okay.
Who inspires you to be the woman that you are today?
My family. My parents have been supporting, like, since I was born. They've supported me, and they're still supporting me, like, in every possible way. And also, my sister's family is also, because my sister has 2 kids. My nephew is now 11 years. So I've been with, I've made him a geek as I am. So
yes.
So that has affected a lot who I am today, and also my niece, who is 6 years old now. So
That's awesome. It is. So, do you just have the niece and nephew? Do you have any other nieces and nephews?
sorry, it cut some.
Oh, do you have any other nieces and nephews?
No, only these 2.
I have one nephew, as you know, because I brag about him in Discord all the time. He's coming to visit me at the end of June. I'm so excited. Oh, I'm sorry. By the time this actually plays, he'll have come to visit me. So I'm super excited. Yeah, that little bugger, he is just there's something about being an aunt, man. It's so fulfilling. No, you're not a parent, but you're like a parent. You just get to give the kid back. It's like, I get to help raise you, but I don't have to keep you. I love it. I love it so much. That kid. Yeah. He's so he fills my heart. That's awesome. I love hearing when families are supportive like that, because my husband, his family dynamic is completely different from my family dynamic. Mine is very similar to yours. Yeah. I mean, my mom and my parents and I have I would say we have a strained relationship. my dad and I are actually on in a very good place right now. My mom and we're in a good place right now, but, you know, we go back and forth. We have that typical mom-daughter relationship. You know, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad.
Yeah.
But I know, you know, after going through what my family has gone through the last couple of years, I know that they're there for me. And it's really nice to see, you know, when we had all of the deaths in our family in 2016 and 2017, to see that it didn't bring us in. Instead of pulling us apart, it brought us closer together, at least those of us that are left. So, you know, it's really nice to see and hear about other families that are so supportive, because I mean, that's what families are supposed to be, whether or not they're blood or they're the family that you make. You know what I mean? Sorry,
Yeah,
I need to go grab some tissue. I'll be right back. Sorry, the tea is making my nose run because it's so warm. Warm things make my nose run for some weird reason.
Yeah.
So,
that happens to me as well sometimes. But I prefer coffee over tea, but I do drink tea. But when I drink like my morning coffee, I'm like suddenly I need to have a tissue and blow my nose, and because of the coffee. And
I think it opens up everything in the morning, and that's why.
Yeah.
It just opens up my sinuses and stuff. So I do apologize for that. So I don't need to blow my nose. I just need to catch what's falling out of it.
Yeah.
It's so hot. It's so hot right now. So what do you like about being a part of Girlstreamers?
I love it that the Girlstreamers is so supportive community. Like, we have each other's backs if something happens, and just fun place to hang out and chat with others. And
that makes me happy to hear that, because we are coming up. The podcast before this one comes out, is going to be our 50th podcast. So this is number 51. It will be our 50th podcast, and it'll also be on our 2-year anniversary. So, yeah, so I know it's so weird to record it so early, but I'm glad I get to record it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really cool to see where we were 2 years ago, where it started, because I was not in the position that I am right now 2 years ago. I was not management or anything like that. I was just, you know, I am part of the original team, or the original group that started, because it started on Twitter. But I was, you know, just, I loved the idea of having a group of girls to support each other and help each other improve, because, I mean, it's rough out there for just female gamers in general, and then to add the streaming, or even just YouTube, even if you just post it on YouTube, it's tough, and the comments and things that get thrown at women so much. It's nice to see communities geared towards combating that, such as Girlstreamers, and obviously there are others. We are not alone in this. I mean, this is a Girlstreamer podcast, but you know, there are so many good communities out there that do that. So it's nice to hear from, and of course, you know, I would hope that you guys would be honest on the podcast and not be like, oh, it's great, but in your head you're like, nah, this place is terrible. I'm just here just because I feel like I need to be. No. This is all volunteer. The girls who join the podcast, you know, they're here because they want to be. I hope you don't feel like you have to be here.
I actually asked if I could be, and you said yes, of course.
I know this one's actually been long in the making because of the time change and everything. And you're actually my first. You're not my first European interview, but you are my first one that we pre-recorded. So I want to see. Hopefully this turns out well. Unfortunately, we don't get to do the Q&A, but I want to be able to do more of you. I want to be able to do more of you ladies. I want to be able to interview more of you ladies who are not in the American time zones, because you ladies deserve some love too. So what keeps you I'm done with my monologue, so now time for you to monologue. What keeps you so passionate about gaming and the community just as a whole in general?
I don't know. I actually don't know. This was one of the questions I was like, what should I answer to that? But I've been a gamer my whole life, so...
Just the video games themselves, huh?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I love that. I love looking at where video games started in the, 80s essentially, and then where they have come so far in just 30 years. I mean, you look at where games started. I mean, they started with us. Like, they started with us.
Yeah, we are the first generation.
We are. And just seeing where they came, how it's been really cool to witness something like that, for me at least. So I can see why that would be. I mean, that's totally a legitimate reason of why you're so passionate. Like, you just enjoy video games. That is a legitimate excuse.
Yeah.
A legitimate reason. So, what is your greatest challenge or obstacle that you have had to overcome in your life?
I had a very bad relationship. Very, very bad. Like, domestic abuse happened.
Oh. That's hard. That's hard to get out of.
Yeah, it was very hard. I was in that relationship for almost 6 years.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So, it took, like, I started to realize that relationship isn't for me, like, after 2 years in it. But my ex, he had ways.
Yeah.
To keep me in the relationship, like promising better future and everything, and
that's how it always is. Yeah, that's how they always do it. Like, they, What, do you mind me asking a little bit more about it, or?
Yeah, you may ask.
So what was the final straw that just got you to go, I'm out? I'm finally through this terrible situation. I mean, did you even feel that way after you finally left him, or did it take you a few years afterwards to go, I'm actually free of this?
Well, I still see nightmares about that, but what finally helped me to leave that was that I almost died.
Whoa! Oh my god! Girl! Sorry, I have a spider, like, trying to attack me right now. There we go. He's dead. I don't have to burn my house down. So, holy shit! Okay, first off, I'm glad you survived. I'm glad that you survived that.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry that you had to go through... Holy shit! I'm so sorry you had to go through that. That is awful.
Yeah, it was pretty awful, and when that happened, I instantly texted my mother I was living in about, what is it, in different side of Finland, like 600 kilometers away.
Okay. Yeah,
So
that's a good ways away.
yeah, so I didn't have like safe place to go actually there
Oh,
because
jeez.
I didn't have friends there. So I texted my mom that come get me, and then I happily was at work at the time, and I went to work. And when I was at work, my parents drove all the way to get me.
Oh, that's so awesome.
And then when
Parents
I
are
left
so
the
good. Parents
yeah,
can be so awesome.
and when I left the work, my parents waited me. We went together to apartment. I took all my stuff and we left.
Oh my gosh.
So
That is that is intense. I am so glad that you were able to get out of that. That is, and you're now in a very healthy, good, loving relationship, which
yeah,
is, I'm sorry, I'm crying over here. Forgive me.
I'm crying too. So
Um I was in an abusive relationship, but thankfully I saw where it was going and I left it before it got too bad because my dad grew up in a house of an abusive father. Um, so for some reason, my grandmother lived in the world in the time of through better when you make a vow, you stick with it through better for better or worse. And I actually my second year of college, I lived with them and I got to witness what my dad experienced a little bit. Not the physical side of it, but the mental side of it. And yeah, that gave me a new respect for my father. Um, there, because at that point he was too old to do anything physical. But he still got really angry and really loud, and he would just scream at my grandmother, and I'm just like, my grandmother, who was the nicest, sweetest, calmest person in the world, just sat there and took it. Like it. Oh my god, I'm so glad that you were able to get out of that. Um,
yeah,
and I'm so glad that you have such a loving family to support you and help you through something like that. If you could give your past self 1 to 2 words of advice from the wisdom and experience that you have gained up until now, what would they be?
that would be don't do it. Regarding that 6 years I had, like I left high school. I never finished high school, or what is like I don't know what's it. It's similar in Finland and in US, the high
Uh-huh.
school system. So I left it like on like I did it like half of it, and then I left because I met my ex.
Oh, wow.
We had this long distance relationship, and I had known my ex like a month, and
Yeah.
okay, let's go, and I moved that 600 kilometers away, and yeah,
That's that was a huge like decision at that age. You were what? You had to have
I
been what,
was
15, 16?
no, it was in Finland. We start high school at age 16, but I had to go like 1 year more to get into high school. We have this system that we have this middle school,
Right? Mhm.
or the elementary school, middle school. It's like from grades 1 to 9,
Oh, okay, okay.
and then after ninth year we go to high school. But in my case, like we don't automatically go to high school. We can go to vocational school as well. So we
Oh,
need
okay.
to like there's a process. Like we need to have high enough, what is it, the scale to get to the high school or vocational school, and I didn't have high enough numbers, so I had to take an extra year,
Gotcha.
like a 10th year, to raise my grades, and then I got to high school when I was 17. So I turned 19 the year when I left.
Wow. See, here, like, I graduated high school at the age of 17 because of the way our system works. Some people graduate at the age of 18 depending on where their birthdays are, where their birthdays land. And we go from elementary school and middle school is first grade through 8th grade. And then high school starts at 9th grade through 12th grade. So when we go into high school here, we're closer to the 13, 14 age. So, yeah, when you said high school, that's what I was thinking. But no, it was a little, you were a bit older. Because there is a massive difference between 17 years of age and 13 years of age. Yeah. Number-wise, there's not, but mentally-wise, there is a massive difference. So, wow, that's still, like, really young to make that decision. Oh my goodness, that is so crazy. Well, that's, girl, you've got a crazy story. I like it. I'm glad that you survived
I'm crazy, so...
There ain't nothing wrong. We all crazy. We all just a little bit crazy. So, over the years, I'm sure that you have had a chance to really analyze yourself and everything. So what trait of yours are you most proud of? I'm trying to do better with my segues, and that was not necessarily the best segue for that question, but whatever.
Whatever. I was actually talking with my hubby about this, and I was trying to ask him to tell me what's my best trait.
I do the same thing!
But I think that that I can watch everything with like positive eyes first. Like I try to find the positivity in everything, despite all that has happened to me, and I think that's my best trait.
That's a good trait to have, especially with the things that you have gone through, that you didn't let it get you to that negative, pessimistic side. I mean, you have a reason to be extremely cynical, but you're not. You're actually pretty positive, and you giggle and you laugh, and that's good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I had my bad time after the relationship, but I've come over it now, and
that's awesome.
But those nightmares still, maybe once a year or twice a year, but
in situations like that, I don't think you'll ever fully get away from those kinds of nightmares. I still have nightmares about my sexual assaults, but they're not as devastating anymore. Having gone through therapy and worked it out and all of that stuff, you know, so I think it sucks that you're stuck with those nightmares, but, you know, our brains tend to hold on to certain things a lot strongly when they're associated with a very strong emotion. That's how you remember things, and that's why it's never going to go away, because that's a really strong emotion. You get a really strong reaction when you think of that. But the fact that it doesn't devastate you and it doesn't stop you from being able to keep going is what is good and what is nice about that whole situation.
Yeah.
So, what would you say is your greatest insecurity?
Well, I think then again, well, I'm a big girl, so even though I try to be body positive, but sometimes it just hits me that I'm a way, way, way too big girl, and
I feel you on that one. That is, yep, I totally rock on, sister. So, all right, we will, all right, now that we're done with the serious part, we'll get back to some more light stuff. Have you ever been trolled?
yes. Who hasn't been?
Hey, I've had people talk about how they've never been trolled. So, yeah, I'm like, you are lucky.
Yeah, I've been trolled a few times, but not so bad actually, but some small. Like when I was playing Fallout 4, some dudes came like, hey, do you even know what you're doing? No, I never know what I'm doing. I'm just doing stuff here, and answered back, and then, do you even know where you're going? No, I'm a wanderer, so I don't need to know where I'm going. Like, the Wanderer is one of the songs in the Fallout 4 series, so.
That's...
So, yeah.
Gotta
And
love
then,
trolls.
yeah. Then one time I got this, some dude came in like, hey, you're cute, and how are you? And we chatted a bit like in a normal way, and then he asked that, do you accept donations? I was, oh, yeah, you can donate me, and I have this link here, and you can donate it. Okay, I'll donate you. No, first he started like, I'm this famous YouTuber with 2 million subscribers, and I make videos when Girlstreamers show their boobs on stream. I like do reaction videos. I'll donate you $1,000 if you show me your tits, and I was like, okay, bye bye. Not gonna do that.
Boy, bye. Like,
Yeah.
what? I got a message once from a guy. The last weird message I got was in a whisper, and it asked me to show him my feet. I was like, okay, delete. Like, I mean, it's like, show me some feet and I'll give you some money. I'm like, okay, whatever. But I was streaming at the time, and so I read it online, live, and my mods, obviously we're in chat, and I was like, so this guy just whispered me, da 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 da, and the guy goes, chill, it was just a joke, and my mod goes, that shit's not a funny joke, and bans him. I was like, boom, bye boy, bye Felicia.
Yeah, and best part was that who offered me the money, he said that in chat, like not in whisper, but in chat, and I had mod online, so.
Mods are so good.
Yeah, so my mod made the ban, and like, okay, bye.
So, what advice do you have for anyone that's new, that's getting into streaming?
Have fun.
Yep.
That's like, most are like too serious about streaming. Like, even when they haven't even streamed for the first time, they are like, okay, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna be a most popular streamer in the world, and all those, and they focus too much to that stuff and forget the fun.
I would agree with you on that. Yeah, I mean, it's really easy to get lost as well when you've been streaming for a while, and it's really easy to just get lost in that tough, numbers situation. But you know, we all started this for fun, not
Yeah.
to make any kind of, you know, serious money off of this. And, you know, when you're having fun, the people in your chat are going to be having fun anyway. So
Yeah.
that's what they're looking for. So I think that is some very good advice. You gotta have fun with what you're doing, or else
Yeah.
it'll be too much like a job, and then it's like, why are you doing this at that point?
Yep.
Do you have any cool tattoos, scars, or piercings?
I have 5 tattoos in total, and all of them are, of course, cool. And
I like that you say that.
yeah.
Every one of them are cool. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Like, I have, well, I don't know if it shows, but I have, like, in my forearm here, I have,
the Deathly Hollows! Yes! I love it.
Yeah, it's my most recent one tattoo. And then I have both, what these are, biceps
Okay.
and shoulders, whatever those are. And shoulder blade has one, and then in the neck area is one.
So what are all the tattoos that you have?
On this arm, shoulder, I have tribal tattoo. It's my first one I got, and it was like, because everyone else has tattoos, so I want one also. So it's kind of tattoo I'm going to hopefully at some point like redo or some like.
Oh, do like a cover up?
Yeah, cover up. So I'm not so proud of that. Then
we all have that one. We all have a tattoo that we're like,
yeah. And then I have on my shoulder blade, I have a rune of protection.
Ooh, cool.
And then on my this shoulder, I have I could maybe show you. I don't know if it shows very well.
A little bit. You can see it a little. It looks like a stopwatch.
Yeah, it's a stopwatch, steampunk style.
Nice.
Yeah, and it has my birthday and time of the day I was born.
Oh, I like it. Very cool.
Yeah, I took it as my 30th birthday present.
Very nice.
So, yeah, and then the one I have on the neck, it's the logo of my favorite band, Poets of the Fall.
Okay.
So.
Very cool. Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. If there was one person, past or present, that you could have dinner with tonight, who would it be and why? This could be fiction, non-fiction, dead, alive.
I didn't think about fiction because I just thought about non-fiction people, but
I know, adding in fiction, it kind of, you know, makes it changes the whole question, like,
Yeah, because there's so many people I could then add to the scale. But let's stay in real life people, and I'll say Felicia Day.
Oh, I'm trying to get her on the podcast so bad so I can talk to her. Oh, I would love to talk to her. Yeah. I would love to talk. Have you read her book then?
Yeah, I have read.
Oh,
and I loved it.
So good. It's written just like how you can tell it was written the way she thinks.
Yeah.
It was actually a really like easy, fast read too, because it was almost like she was having a conversation with you the way she wrote the book.
Yeah, and I was like, I read it with my e-reader. I have e-reader.
Yep.
I have like 500 books in it, so it's like easy way to store
I
books.
have a Kindle. I love it so much.
Yeah, easier way to take books to travels and stuff. And so I was like, okay, next page, next page, next page. was flipping like, and suddenly it took maybe 2 days to finish it, like 2 nights to finish it. I was just reading it.
Yeah, it was really, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's one of the people I really want to chat with too. She's
Mhm.
I've never met her, but I've seen her at Dragon Con here. She's come a couple of times, and I've gotten to go into some of her panels, and just listening to her, because she essentially is what paved the way for women, for us. Like, she was one
Yeah.
of those pioneers for online content creators, specifically women online content creators, but online just creators in general. Like, she was one of those first pioneers, and the fact that not only is she one of those first pioneers, she's a woman. Like, that's just, I love it so much. Like, she's just,
Yeah, that's the reason I want to meet her.
I would love, love, love to have her on the Girlstreamer podcast. Felicia Day, if you listen to the podcast, we want to have you as a guest. So, what is an ideal weekend for you?
Relax, watch some movies, hang out with hubby, eat good food.
Oh, are you a foodie? Do you
Yeah.
like to go eat? Oh, yes. What's your favorite kind of food?
Anything my hubby makes.
Nice. So I guess the hubby is the cook in the family?
Yeah.
Nice.
And actually, when we started to date, he actually teach me some of the ways to cook, and I'm still learning to cook.
Nice. Very nice. Yeah, my husband and I, we share duties. He's really good with the Asian dishes. Like, he makes really good massaman curry. He makes really good stir fry. His first meal he ever made me was sushi, which was delicious. And I'm good with, the classic Southern food, because I live here. So that fried chicken, all of the stuff you're not supposed to eat is what I grew up learning how to cook. So I've had to learn how to alter it and make it healthy. which has been very difficult.
Yeah, I can understand that.
But yeah, we definitely share the cooking duties here in our household. There's a reason why we're both fat. We both enjoy food and we both like cooking.
Yeah.
So, what are you most thankful for?
Most thankful for, well, the fact that I'm alive.
Yeah,
Still,
I would think that would be something you're thankful for.
Yeah. And also my husband.
Ah, cheesy. I love it.
Yeah.
So my final question for you on my list of questions is, what is your strongest passion outside of streaming?
I love to read a lot.
Obviously, with 500 books in your e-reader, clearly you are a reader. Well, I mean, if you don't enjoy reading, you're not going to expand like your knowledge. You're not going to expand your world views, and like that's how people learn and expand and become more well-rounded people, is by reading, because you're essentially getting different perspectives from everyone. Even if a lot of the authors are, of one creed, regardless, white, black, woman, male, trans, gay, straight, whatever, you're at least getting another perspective that is not yours. So I'm a big reader myself. I love reading.
Yeah, I learned to read like at the age of 5, so before school started for me. like in Finland we start school at age 7, so it was 2 years before school. So I've been with book ever since, like
Nice.
past 30 years.
Nice. That's funny. We start school. Well, that's probably why I graduated so much earlier, or at such an earlier age than you, because we start school, like preschool starts around 5, and then kindergarten is 6, and then first grade is 7. So we start pretty early here. You'd think we'd be a lot smarter, but we're not. For the amount of time we're in school here, we're pretty low on the knowledge education base here. Luckily, my parents are smart and intelligent people, and they worked with us before. I mean, they taught us how to read, at an early age as well, and started early with us. And I taught my brother math because that's how it helped me learn math, because I'm 6 years older than my brother. So we would play school, and I would do like math problems on the chalkboard, and he would learn, like I would be the teacher teaching him, because that's how it helped me retain that knowledge. And so then he became a lot smarter with math. Like he actually is really good with math. When he can't do it, like neither one of us are fast with it, but we're actually oddly very good at math. Even though we both hate it, and now he's in the IT field. So there you go.
Yeah.
So how many siblings do you actually have?
I have one sister. She's older than me, like 6 years older than me.
Oh, okay. All right. So you're the baby. All right.
Yeah, I'm the baby, and that's why we never got along when we were home.
Yeah.
Like, still both living home.
So is your sister a nerd like you, or is she kind of into different things?
Into different things. So we are totally different. Like,
nice. My brother and I. It's funny because my brother and I got along up until I got into middle school. I'd say 7th or 8th grade is when we started butting heads, because I was going through puberty, obviously. So, and he didn't understand because he was, child. He was a baby.
Yeah.
And he was 6'5", 6-ish. And so then I got into high school, and we, kept arguing and fighting. And when I went off to college and I wasn't there anymore is when we started getting close again and getting to know each other again. Because obviously, as the older kid, I was, I have the older kid syndrome, the older child syndrome, because the baby always got away with everything. Yeah. But it's funny because now, like, he's a big nerd and I'm a big nerd. Like, we play video games together. We play D&D together. Like, it's so funny. When my husband came out to visit, my brother looks at me the last night before the husband flies out. He came out to meet me in person and meet my family and everything. And my brother goes, "If you don't marry this guy, I will." So husband got the approval of my brother, and it was done. That was it. That's all we needed, right?
Yeah.
The father approval came along later. He had to get over the age difference there, but yeah. So how long have you actually been married?
We've been together 9 years.
Woo!
Yeah, and married 7.
Oh, so about like us. We've been married 6, but we've been together for about 9. So
yeah.
Nice. Very nice. That's awesome. I didn't realize you guys had been together as long as that. I thought you had, for some reason I was thinking you were still a newlywed. I don't know why.
Yeah, we are already, well, 7 years comes like in end of October. So.
Oh, so you have October anniversary. Nice, nice. Um, so I'm gonna ask you a couple questions that I know the Q&A usually ask questions.
Okay.
And I'm gonna ask you some of the most popular questions that Q&A usually ask, just so we can get a little bit of the Q&A flavor. One of the questions that's always asked is, what's your favorite food? Which I actually already asked you that question, and you said anything your husband cooks. Another one that's gotten asked a couple of times, excuse me, is if you could live in any video game or movie or book world, what universe would you live in, and what would you do for a living? I know, that's a loaded question, right?
Yeah. Well, can I combine like many places? Like I could like Skyrim, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter.
God, I would love to live in Harry Potter. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Have you been to like the European Harry Potter world yet?
Unfortunately not, because traveling to London is pain in the
Oh, really?
Because,
damn. I would think it'd be a little bit easier.
Well, it is a little bit easier, and it doesn't take so much time as it would be for you to travel to London. But I'd need to first travel from my hometown to Helsinki. That's like 1 hour flight.
Okay.
And then wait there the connection flight. That can be like from 2 hours to whole day waiting.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, depending what flight you take, and if you have money to pay, you can get like 50-minute waiting.
Oh my God. So is it just a small airport, or is there just not a lot of flights that come in and out of Helsinki?
It's international airport, so there are a lot of flights coming, but it's all is what you're like able to pay. So if you're able to pay enough money, you don't have to wait. But if you're like budget,
gotcha,
like me and Habi are usually, then there might be like whole day waiting the connection flight.
Yeah, that's us. We travel. We do the budget thing. We don't. We are though very. We try to be pretty frugal, just because. So we travel. We try to travel quite a bit, as much as we can. And the only reason why we're able to travel as much as we can is because we travel budget wise. Like we look for we look for those good deals. We look for the cheaper hotels. We look for whatever we can, because usually whenever we travel, we also have to board our 2 dogs. And we like if we go to California, we like to have a vehicle with us, because he is from California, so there's a lot of people for us to go visit. So we usually, try to rent a car, and so yeah, I'm totally with you on the whole budget thing. Totally get it. Like last year we got to go to California and go to BlizzCon, and the only reason why we got to go is because we found flights for 2 people to California and back. So that's going from Atlanta to LA and back for less than $500 US. That's a really good deal for flights. Like, I don't know. I just happened to log in at the right day, right time, and got really good deals. That's the only way we got to go. It's the only way we got to go. So I'm totally with you on that. So have you traveled outside of Finland anywhere?
Yeah, we've been to Prague, Czech, twice.
Oh, was it as pretty as The
Yes.
pictures. Oh, that's on my bucket list. There's so many places I want to visit. Oh, nice.
I have actually, when we last summer went to Prague, I made a vlog about it. So if you want, I can link it to you.
Oh, yeah. Send it to
It's
me
in English, so...
Sweet. Send it to me in the Discord. I will definitely go check that out. Nice.
Yeah. And I've been to Estonia, Sweden.
Oh, okay.
Like Sweden is easy to get because like the closest IKEA is in Sweden for us.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Like it's only like about hour and a half drive away to Sweden from here. So
Nice.
I've been to Sweden very many times, and I've been to Germany and
Cool.
Canary Islands and where else? I don't remember all the places I've been, but
Are the Canary
Italy
Islands
also.
Are the Canary Islands the farthest you've been from where you live?
I think so.
Cuz that's in the Caribbean, right? Yeah.
No, it's in next to Africa.
Oh shit. Yeah, you're right.
In the Atlantic Ocean, like 3 small islands near Africa coastline.
Yeah, I'm looking
South
at
of Portugal and...
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right, I see where they are. Yeah, for some reason it's because of the color of the water. It looks very Caribbean.
Yeah.
Because it's got that beautiful, like, blue aqua color around those islands. So I always think it's Caribbean, because if you go anywhere else in the Atlantic along the U.S. side, the Atlantic Ocean is it's like a gray. It's very gray looking. It's not that pretty color. But if you go more south, I mean, the further you go south into Florida and over into the Gulf, you'll get those beautiful blue waters. So, ooh, the Canary Islands. Yeah. That's a nice, very nice.
Yeah. But it's been like 20 years since the last time I was in Canary Islands. I was there with my parents.
Nice. Well, I think this is so weird to time it, because I'm doing the beginning and ending separate from just the interview, so the timing is a little off, because usually I have, anyway, whatever. We are at the end of the podcast, and we have been talking over an hour and a half, so I think this is actually a good time to end the podcast. So where and when can we find you streaming?
You can find me from twitch.tv/Merya83. I try to stream 3 times a week, and the schedule is like, I have this schedule thing on my page on Twitch, and I there always update weekly my times when I'm able to stream.
Okay, so it changes weekly?
Yeah.
Okay, but you'll always have the update up there. All right, awesome.
Yeah, but I try to do it like 3 times a week at least, and like I try to include like morning streams and afternoon streams so that I can catch European people and Australian people and US people. So.
Yep. That's the hard thing, is trying to set your schedule to catch a couple of everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. So there might be like 2. I've been planning on doing like morning stream and afternoon stream like every day during weekday, but we'll see what happens. It's still in the stage, and I also have Twitter, Merya, where I announce when I'm live, and it's a good place to follow.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you so very much for joining me. I'm so glad that we got a chance to do this interview. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for making this possible.
Yay! And thank you so much. This has been a Girlstreamers podcast. Thank you for listening. Girlstreamers is partnered with Loot Crate, Fresh Designs, Punk's Paracord, Simple Jerky, UN Racing Chairs, Glom Tom, and Sennheiser. Links to all these amazing partners are down below, so please feel free to click. Thanks, guys, for all of your support. Please follow us at Girlstreamers on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, and player.me. Remember, our Twitch channel is actually twitch.tv/Girlstreamers_Inc. And if you have any questions or would like more information, you can visit our website at girlstreamers.com and contact us through there. You can subscribe to us on Twitch or GameWisp, and don't forget, when you do subscribe to us, you get access to our Discord fan channel. You can also buy some super cool gear in our online shop at designbyhumans.com/shop/Girlstreamers. You can find Merya on Twitter at Merya Frob, that is MERJAFROB, and on Twitch at twitch.tv/Merya83, that is MERYA83. Our next podcast will be July 22nd with Martian Cat, right here, same time. This podcast is a part of the Two Lazy Dogs Media Group and the Girlstreamers community. Encourage, support, grow.